These were days of speculation about Barcelona's stadium under construction. Speculation that fueled many major media outlets, generating traffic, clicks, and visibility. During the weekend match, headlines focused on rainwater flowing inside parts of the stadium. Just days later, during a Champions League night, the conversation shifted again, this time toward images circulating online that allegedly showed rats inside the construction zone. All this for what? Because it sells, because it makes news, and because when the topic is FC Barcelona, attention is almost guaranteed. But an important question arises. Are these real structural concerns? Or simply the kind of stories that spread fast without technical context? Here at SportsRender, the goal is not to amplify noise, but to understand what is actually happening. So instead of reacting emotionally to viral clips, let's step back and look at the engineering reality behind these images. First, the rainwater. Heavy rainfall hit Barcelona, and videos of water flowing inside Camp Nou quickly spread across social media. At first glance, this might look alarming, but the explanation is far more straightforward. Camp Nou is still under construction. Large parts of the structure are open. There are unfinished gaps, exposed slabs, and temporary drainage systems. So when it rains, water will go inside. There is no mystery here. A stadium without a completed roof and final waterproof layers simply cannot be watertight. What we are seeing is not a failure. It is a construction phase. At this stage, engineers focus primarily on the elements that truly define the safety of the structure: structural stability, concrete works, load-bearing components, final waterproofing, drainage membranes, facade sealing, and roof completion all come much later in the process. In fact, trying to stop water completely right now would make little practical sense, because many of the surfaces we see today will still be modified, layered, or fully covered during the finishing stages. This is exactly the same situation you would find in any stadium under construction, any large arena without its final roof, or even a standard building before finishing works begin. Rain goes where gravity allows it to go. So when we see water flowing inside Camp Nou, it does not automatically mean the design is flawed, the engineers made a mistake, or the stadium is unsafe. It simply means one thing: the stadium is not finished yet. Now, regarding the images that allegedly showed rats inside the construction area. While such visuals can easily trigger concern, context matters here as well. Large construction zones often attract urban wildlife temporarily. Excavation areas, stored materials, and quieter nighttime conditions can unintentionally create shelter. This is not unique to Barcelona. It is a common logistical challenge in major construction projects worldwide, typically handled through strict sanitation procedures and pest control measures. On their own, these images do not indicate a structural or long-term operational issue. What we are witnessing is the raw, imperfect reality of building a megastructure, something the public rarely sees. Because major stadium projects are not clean, silent, or visually perfect until the very final stages. And when short clips circulate without technical explanation, they can easily create a perception that feels more dramatic than the engineering reality. This does not mean questions shouldn't be asked. Transparency is essential in projects of this scale. But understanding the construction process is just as important. And now, a genuine question. If any engineer or construction expert is watching this video, feel free to explain in more detail. How would you stop water in a stadium that has no roof yet and still has open structural spaces? Because, from a technical perspective, there is nothing unusual happening here. Sometimes, construction reality is simply less dramatic than social media makes it appear. The new Camp Nou remains one of the most ambitious stadium redevelopments in Europe, a transformation that will only be judged properly once the structure is completed and fully operational. Until then, moments like these are snapshots of a work in progress, not the final verdict. Because building the future often looks chaotic before it looks iconic. If you want clear, factual, and engineering-focused analysis of the world's biggest stadium projects, subscribe to SportsRender. More stadium insights are coming.